Hey everyone, let's get the big flashlight on, shut this headlamp off. I wonder how bad the mosquitoes are going to be today. Today we are in the Everglades at one of the hiking trails, and what I noticed is a lot of people will go in here to look for animals. During the day, these trails are absolutely packed, but like an hour before dusk is when a lot of the alligators start to show themselves, and I've never actually walked these trails at night. I might want to do it fast. It's a very muggy night, very humid, pretty warm, and I feel like that's when there'd be a lot of creatures out. It was a hot day. The pavement here is, I'm sure, like a heat pad. So we're gonna drive around a little bit after we do this trail. The park rangers told me if I drive around at, ooh, look at that. We got a toad. That's cute. A toad right there. Let's pick him up. Yeah, get off the road so you don't get run over. There you go. Yep, go on, go on, go on. I think it's missing a back leg. It's moving around pretty good, but yeah, I think it's missing a back leg. Let me put my hand down. Yeah, this is very warm, the road. I just waited in the parking lot for like 2 hours hoping for the sun to go down. And there's still some people driving around, so I don't want this guy in the road. At least he's on the sidewalk now. So we're gonna go for a little walk. Yeah. Bye-bye, toad. Might see him on the way back. But I was saying the park rangers say there'll be a lot of creatures on the road because it's like a heat mat. If you drive around after sundown, I wanted to come out here and have a look around. You see down there in the water, see these trails? That's where alligators walk around. Those are alligator trails, and look at all the bugs. I got a couple mosquitoes bothering me, but not too many. Yeah, I got a couple mosquitoes bothering me right now. Gotta just look down here. The alligators like this shallow water. They just sit there in the day and bask. Okay, we're gonna keep this on low until we need to light up another area. It's a very, very warm night, so I feel like we'll see some stuff. Maybe some nocturnal snakes. Maybe later we can go to another one of these boardwalk trails, one that features more water. This trail doesn't feature that much water. Not wide open water that you can see in here. It's mostly dried up this time of year. The wet season just recently ended, so it's already dried up in here and it's only going to get drier. I've walked this trail before in my vlog videos, but during the day I was mentioning, look how warped and messed up the plastic lumber had gotten from the high heat in the summertime. Yeah, those trees are really cool. The strangler fig. I didn't know what they were called until I saw that sign. I've yet to see any invasive snakes, and I've been hanging out around here for a while, but this is my first time going out on the trails in the dark. Ooh. Something's down there. Pretty dried up, but you can see where the water goes. I feel like that was a bird that just got startled by the big light. Sound of the crickets is nice. So we'll get back on the road, drive for a little bit, and go to another trail like this. There's quite a few trails like this in the park. There's a lot of wilderness trails too that have a more abundance of nature, but all the wilderness trails I've gone on, the one thing is the nature on those trails is not used to humans, so you always hear something running away or jumping into the water to avoid human contact. But out here, everything is used to people, so if you see gators on these heavily traveled trails, they'll usually just hang out there and stare at you. When the wilderness trails in the Everglades, it'll run away, because like this one we're on right now, especially tourist season, which I've never been here. I wouldn't want to be here when it is that packed, but I imagine that entire parking lot would fill up with people, and there's a good amount of people here when it's not tourist season. But all the animals, especially the alligators, are used to people. The birds are used to people. They come up to you because people must feed them. And in the middle of the wilderness, the birds, you hear them squawking and panicking with their warning calls to others, just going away. As far as the alligators, sometimes you see them in the distance. They never let you get close. Oftentimes they see you way before you see them, so you just hear a big splash in the water. And you don't get to see them. They hide at the bottom for a while. And they can hold their breath for a very long time. I saw somewhere out here on one of the signs that said, during hurricanes, what do alligators do? Hold their breath for about 6 hours at a time. Just hide beneath. I keep seeing leaves and stuff moving around. I'm betting it's the little lizards. We have an orb weaver right there. That's what that spider is. Also have a cave spider. Try to duck under their web without breaking it. Yeah, they put up webs fast. Unless the people that left here about an hour ago just went under it like me. But I've even been in culvert pipes where I'll break a spider's web, and then on the way back through the pipe, 5 minutes later the web will be back. Some spiders can put webs up very quickly. This is really cool, this one right here. Speaking of hurricanes, that's one of the flattest root systems I've ever seen. And that tree is huge, look at that. It's got to be a good 30-inch diameter, and that's big. We don't see any other trees like that out here. Maybe better luck in the vehicle. Again, out on the wilderness trails, things are scared, but there's a lot more out there. Like there was one trail I hiked where they told me I was the only one to pull a camping permit all of 2024 because the trail was flooded with like ankle or knee deep water. Whole thing was literally flooded because the ground's so flat in Florida. Miles of ankle and knee deep water. No one else wanted to do it because of that. I just had to put my big high boots on and I was fine. Then I did another one, another hiking trail after that, a week after that, because I need a little bit of time to recover because those hikes are very far and it's more blisters, not energy levels, because I wear the big boots in case of venomous snakes when I'm in those overgrown trails. Look at this. Here's one that didn't fall over. Massive. Wow. But yeah, the second one I did is another wilderness campsite, and that was Ingram Highway, which was a 20-mile round trip. That one, a few people used it this year, but I can't even read this sign. I didn't even see a flat spot at the campsite. So few people walk out there. I'm surprised. It was interesting spending a night with the alligators. I just wish I was informed at the time that it was normal for alligators to investigate new objects in the environment, because I had at least a couple alligators walk near the tent. One of them was growling for like 10 minutes. I wish I knew that was normal behavior for them to growl outside tents. That's what they told me when I asked the park rangers about that afterwards. Said it's normal for them to investigate and growl because they don't know what the tent is. But that was scary when it was happening out there. That was a 6-hour in, and I think I got out in 4.5 hours. The first day I had to take a lot of breaks. It was extremely hot. Decent weather hiking out. There's another massive tree with a nice arch. Okay, this trail is about to end. It's looping back. I think there it is. Here's the loop again. We've just made a complete 10-minute circle. There we go. Now we're going back into the parking lot. So we're gonna try to stop at another trail that has good amount of water, and on the way we can stop at a couple of culvert pipes that usually have an alligator at them in the daytime. I'm curious, it's been 2 weeks since we stopped at the culvert pipes where all the alligators are watching whirlpools, so we can see if they are still there, because I'm wondering if the water levels have dropped, because water levels were very high a couple weeks ago, but now that it's in the dry season, it's just going to get drier and drier. All these swamps dry up, concentrate all the gators in this, I guess, in the summer. Okay, we're going back to the parking lot. All right, back in the car. Okay, off-road lights, we'll use that. Compared to that flashlight, the off-road lights are dim. That flashlight's a lot brighter. Okay, there's some mosquitoes in the parking lot, but they didn't bother me on the trail. Okay, so we're gonna look around for some creatures. Gotta remember that I have the off-road lights on if another vehicle comes. Let's look for some snakes and stuff. That could be on the edge of the road. It'd be cool to see something different. Since I've been in the Everglades, I've seen some water snakes. I saw one cottonmouth. Camera randomly shut off. I also saw a yellow rat snake out here. Saw a couple water snakes, a mangrove snake, which is another venomous one, but it's supposedly mildly venomous, so it usually wouldn't kill you. But the cottonmouth is the second most venomous after the diamondback rattlesnake. I've never seen a rattlesnake, so that'd be another interesting creature to come across out here. I'll keep the camera going while we drive. This park's a big place. It takes a good hour to drive through it. And we're not on the main road. Since the last time I was in the Everglades, they closed off a bunch of roads. I don't know permanently or not. I'm assuming it's for mud season until they dry up. But that was a fun road to drive down, called Bear Lake Road last year. Mud hole after mud hole. It was fun to drive through, but it's locked and gated this year. There's also another road that was good for puddles. Now they have jersey barriers across it. That one looks more permanent. Or maybe they just didn't have the gate. But I don't see them opening that one again. I wonder if it's foggy. Or I guess I'm just used to my big flashlights. Even the off-road lights don't seem like they're doing much to me. Handheld flashlight is the brightest flashlight in the world, and it's definitely brighter than the off-road lights. Even, I guess my eyes were adjusted to, it wasn't even at its brightest when we were walking around out there. One car down the other way. So I'm waiting around. I'm a little bit bored, just trying to kill a couple days' time in the Everglades until I have a reservation to go kayaking in Hell's Bay to a campsite called the Chicky, which is basically a little pavilion on the water that you can only get to by canoe or kayak. You just set a tent up on that in the middle of the swamp. So I reserved one of those for Tuesday night. Should have done Monday night. I don't know why I didn't, but I think I chose Tuesday night because I was trying to rent a kayak, because they have a place that supposedly delivers right to the trailhead. The whole trail's flooded, so you take kayaks down it year-round. And the place I was going to rent a kayak from canceled on me, and I don't understand why. So after that, I'm like, this isn't reliable. So I didn't own a kayak, so I bought one on Black Friday, which was yesterday. It was Black Friday. So I got a kayak for like a third off. Came with paddles, and I got a life jacket. I didn't think I needed the life jacket because supposedly the entire swamp going out there is only 2 or 3 feet of water. So I didn't think I needed it, but apparently by Florida law, you have to have a life jacket in the vessel. I don't have to wear it, it just has to be in the kayak somewhere. But next week's going to be nice and cold, and the people in Florida are saying the weather's cold. Next week, every high temperature will be in the low 70s, with nighttime being in the 40s. They say that's cold. I think that's perfect weather for camping. I got a kayak, and we're gonna do that in 2 days. I think I chose Tuesday because I was trying to give myself more time to work out some sort of reservation, but you know, turns out with the Black Friday sale, I was gonna rent a kayak for 2 days, but I bought one for the price of 6 days of rental. So now I have one, and I can finally accomplish all those videos I wanted to do for years. Like my grandpa's kayaks, I could have borrowed them anytime, but actually having one just makes me more likely to just go out and do stuff with it. There's a couple islands with abandoned things on them I've been wanting to camp on up north. So once we get the kayak back to Maine, we'll do some interesting camps in the spring, because by the time I get back up there, lakes I expect to be frozen over. I've done a good amount of winter camping videos, and now I'm more in the mood to do summer ones because I've kind of run out of different ideas for the winter. I haven't seen anything on the edge of the road yet. Like a snake. Stop today to look at the trailhead. I like doing that a couple days before I hike something, or in this case we gotta take a kayak. The water is, yes, very shallow. It looks like in Google Maps, the Hells Bay Trail. It's a whole trail underneath the mangrove trees through the swamp. It is an absolute maze. It's called Hells Bay because it is hell to get out there and it's hell to get back, but the trail is marked with plastic PVC pipes sticking out of the water to guide you through the maze so you don't get lost, because people used to get lost out there. There's also a sign saying that if you go fishing in Hells Bay, so a park ranger told me like a week ago that Hells Bay is saltwater, and maybe it's partially saltwater. I'm not sure. We'll see when we get out there, but the start of the trail is definitely freshwater. And it being freshwater, I even tasted it, it's freshwater. So maybe when we get out there is when we get to the mixing part, because they told me it's saltwater where the campsites are. A couple campsites out there. There's one called Lardacan campsite, which is a ground site, not on a platform like I mentioned. They recommend don't do it this time of year. It's likely going to be wet and flooded. So I didn't want to do it anyways. I wanted to do one of these unique platforms because we don't have anything like that up north that I know of. Up north, we have a lot of campsites on abandoned islands and boat accessible only campsites in Maine, and they're free. There's a lot of them. But we don't have anything like this, a little platform in the middle of swamps. So it's different. So they told me out there in Hells Bay, or I don't know if I'm going to actually go that far out. We're going to see. So the start of the trail is going to have alligators. Then if we get to the saltwater place where it mixes, what I'm assuming it is, it's going to mix when you get that far out. There'll be crocodiles. But I saw a sign today at the trailhead saying if you're fishing, you can't eat more than one fish per week. Like if you catch things, because there's a lot of mercury in the fish, it says around here. But it specifically mentioned bass having mercury. So that means freshwater if you're catching a bass. Alright, my eyes are adjusting. The lights look good now. Sometimes those big flashlights, they're so bright it just bounces off trees and probably that light colored boardwalk, and it blinds you for a bit. Fortunately, the national park doesn't let you sleep in your vehicle, even though all the parking lots are empty. So every night when I'm done looking around in here, I go to a Walmart, which is like a half-hour away, and use their overnight. Walmart allows you to overnight camp. If you ever notice, Walmart parking lots usually have an adjacent parking lot owned by Walmart with some kind of median between it. It's like a separate parking lot, but it's owned by them. That's for campers, truck drivers, and anyone that needs to sleep there. That's why Walmart builds those. That's specifically why they build it, so they can make money off people camping there. The camping's free, but they know you're going to be going in there shopping and stuff. Not seeing any snakes yet. That the gators usually are at. We'll get out and have ourselves a look. We just gotta find that road. It's gonna be a while. Hopefully I remember what it's called. Then maybe we'll go for a walk at a different place too. We'll go for a couple of walks. I don't mind making a long video tonight. I've been wanting to go around in the Everglades in the middle of the night for a while. Yeah, as soon as the sun goes down, the tourists just disappear. A lot of people don't want to come out at night, even though that's when alligators are most active. The park rangers in the Everglades, talking to them a few times about camping out here, it basically took my fear away of alligators. They just explained how they behave since I'm not used to them. What's this? This is it. Crash. A whole bunch of stuff just fell off the shelf in the back. This might be it. This might be what I was looking for. I thought we were a little bit further away, but I think this might be the road that has the culverts with alligators. There was a culvert right there, but there's a few up here that are flowing fast. Alligators like them. I haven't been up here in a couple weeks, so let's find these pipes. You'll notice there's water sitting there on the edge of the road. Seems pretty normal because those are aquatic trees, the cypress trees. It's interesting, they lose all their needles in the winter. Everything looks bald. It's going to be December in a couple of days. But up here, the parking lot, you can tell, has been flooded for a while because it left a bunch of mineral deposits behind. The edge of the road up here leaves a bunch of mineral deposits. You see that reflector? That's going to be one of the culverts, I think. Okay, we're gonna get out with the really big light and have ourselves a look. Yeah, that's one of the ones that the alligator likes to sit at. It's nighttime when they go hunting, so maybe they won't be there, I'm thinking, but we'll just leave the truck running. We'll get out for a moment and have ourselves a look. All right. Big flashlight. Yeah, that's way brighter than the off-road lights. Check for gators on the edges. Look in the water. Oh my gosh, look at all the fish. It's a lot of fish. Yeah, this is a bright light. It's like daytime in there. Let's see, is the gator friend there? It's usually a gator right here. Oh, the whirlpool's still there. The gator likes hanging out at this whirlpool. There was like an 8-foot gator here every time I come by in the daytime. Yep, culvert whirlpool. That culvert's at capacity. Don't see the gator, but you see all the gator trails. They like coming over here. It could be anywhere here on the edge. Not seeing it though. Went hunting. I think this is just its basking spot. All right, we're gonna continue. Okay, we're gonna continue now. Unfortunately, did not see anyone there. This flashlight gets hot in just a couple minutes. And now the next culvert usually has a smaller alligator, maybe 4 feet at it. But they're very active at night. If you go camping out here, you're gonna hear them getting in and out of the water all night. And you see all the mud right there? People pull over right here all the time because they must see something. Is this the pipe? Nope. Maybe a little bit further up. I think, yeah, the end of this road is a little trail we're gonna do. Just go by the pipe. I think I went by it. I don't think this one has a reflector at it. Let's see. Is this? Yes, it is. This is definitely a pipe. Let's get out. Okay. They're flowing slightly less, but still a good amount. Oh, fish are jumping. Fish go nuts with bright lights. Those trees back there are beautiful. Look at that. Look at the base of these trees. I love cypress trees. Something's here bouncing around. Maybe those little lizards. Here's an alligator trail. Let's go across. There's always gators sitting here. See the flattened down area? There's always another whirlpool gator. And there's gator poop. It looks like a piece of concrete. Oh my gosh, the alligator's still there. Yeah, there's a smaller 4-foot one. Yeah. And look at that whirlpool action. Look at that. Zoom into that. Look at that. It's sucking in a good amount of air. The gator's being shy. It's hiding from me. It doesn't know what the bright light is, so we'll leave him alone. But yeah, you see how it's sucking air in? Is that air coming out the other side? No, I don't even see the bubbles, but it's not much. Cool. We got to see this gator friend. Oh, we found somebody else too. Yeah, down there. I believe that's a cottonmouth. Whoop. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Is that a cottonmouth or is that a water snake? Look at the head. Looking at the head, I think it's a water snake. Doesn't have, I don't think it has the right colors. I think that's a water snake, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm definitely not gonna try touching it. Yeah. I think that's a water snake. That's what I'm thinking. Pretty big. It's probably a good 6 feet if we stretched it out. Can we see its head again? No, we're gonna leave it alone. Okay, get back in the truck. Okay, I got a little bit more confidence for this trail. So the parking lot's right up here. Maybe we'll see some exciting creatures. So I think that was a water snake. Its head looked a little different and its colors weren't quite right. And also, cottonmouth usually would curl up in a ball, ready to strike. But then again, when you have a bright light, animals can't exactly see what you are. It confuses them a little bit. Okay, here comes the trail. why the speed limit's dropping. This thing is extremely hot on my lap. I'm still wearing the flashlight like a necklace. Okay. Nice and slow. Look around. See what I'm talking about? All those parking spaces were flooded for a long time. Look at all that mineral deposits it left. Don't know what kind of mineral it is. Not salt water. See over here, all these parking spaces, they were also underwater. See all the minerals. Okay. The cool thing about the Everglades is the park is open 24 hours a day. You just gotta pay for a campsite. They don't want you sleeping in your vehicle here. Okay. This area smells like a porta potty, but there is no facility at this trail. The next one I plan on bringing you guys to has a toilet. It's got a little ranger station and stuff for information. I don't think anyone will be there this time of day though. So this right here is a loop through there, over there. The other side is handicap accessible. It goes all the way up to a little lookout tower. And this event just connects to it, but there's a staircase on this side of it. So I'm probably gonna miss a few things, but I'm gonna try to peek in the waters and look for creatures. I hear something, maybe a bird. Now here's where the alligators could be. Got like 2 feet of water. Got some cool rock formations, and look at that. Let's turn the big light on. Wait, first, I see a little bit of light pollution on the horizon. Yeah, super bright. But we're not gonna really see anything in the far, far distance, are we? I don't think so. More close by creatures. I was here last week looking at this area. At this area I haven't really seen much more than just fish. Let me hold this a little better. There are still alligator trails, but I've never seen an alligator at any of these trails. Fish. There's always fish splashing out here. More alligator trails. Yeah, very sharp grass. One of the wilderness trails had a bunch of that I was brushing against. I was just careful while I was walking through it, and I didn't get stabbed or cut, but if you walk through it in a hurry or something, you can. There's the trail back over there. You can get like paper cuts all over you. Same thing with a cornfield. Certain types of like decorative grass, if anyone has that at their house. I don't have any, but my mom has that stuff, like grass that gets 8 feet tall and you plant it instead of bushes. That stuff's usually sharp. Here's some couple of fish. There's a snake. Look at that. Another water snake. Yeah, I'm sure that's what that was. Water snake. I don't think they're venomous or anything to worry about. Yeah, we're seeing some creatures here. some snakes. All these creatures are more likely to be out in the nighttime hours. I'm not gonna see that snake again. He went in the grass. Very, very tall grass. Yeah, this flashlight's heavy. It's starting to make my hand a little sore holding it the way I am. That's the biggest complaint people had as far as its reviews, but I'm glad it's heavy. It's made out of metal in case you drop it, and it's got a long battery life compared to the old model that was half as bright. Because this thing is, like the mode it's on now, we can walk around for a couple of hours. It generates lots of heat, so it's good to walk around with if the weather's cold. The whole handle gets, oh, look at that cute little lizard on the steps. Okay, that is actually amazing. Look, there's also a little spider there with it. You see, these guys are usually afraid of humans, but with the light, it can't see me. Can I touch it? Oop, yeah, that scared it. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah, so a lot of creatures, like I'm walking right now, all you see if you were coming towards me is a light. You don't see what's holding the light. Here's another spider. Look how flat it is. It just gets itself so flat right there. But I want to peek down in here. Don't jump on me, spider. Just want to look for gators down in here. Wow. Got quite the area. Oh, another little lizard. I don't know what those ones are called though. They look more like a gecko. They don't look like the anoles that are everywhere. Okay, I don't see much under there. No birds or anything up in the top. No. Let's keep the bright light on for a minute. Oh wow, look at that gutter. Salty air takes a toll, I guess. Take a look at these signs in just a moment. Yeah, we're not gonna see anything out there, but this is an awesome view if it were like daytime. You can just see as far as the eye. Yeah, it's very bright. I also see the light pollution again and something over there flashing. So if anyone's interested in what the signs say, I'm just gonna quickly make sure everything focuses in. If anyone wants to just take a look at those, if anyone has an interest in them, I'm gonna try to show all the signs. Some of the metal roofing on this place is bouncing around, if you hear that. Well, I would love to see a panther out here, but they're apparently very rare to see. That's a nice looking beach. I went camping on one of the beaches in the Everglades and it was more mud than sand. Okay, look at this. The original Everglades. Look at the map right there. Look how big it is. Now, humans have destroyed the majority of it with levees to drain the land, and they took over a lot of the Everglades with farms. Mostly farms. The cities are just over on the East Coast. Yeah. Yeah, because this whole Everglades is the slowest river in the world, so as humans pollute it, it also can't get rid of things very easily. When pollutants enter the water system out here, it stays, because around here I think the river is so slow that it only drops an inch or two every mile it flows, which is a very slow, stagnant-ish river. That was a shocking picture there to see. They cut off most of the water. A lot of the water's diverted for farms. This area smells awesome. The smell of the cypress trees is amazing. It smells just like any kind of pine. They're not technically pine trees, but it smells the same. I see more alligator trails down there. These ones haven't lost their needles yet. They're all going to be completely bald pretty soon. That is one awesome web. Can we zoom in on that? Look at that. Look at that massive web. That is really cool. Okay. You know, I was assuming that in a lot of my videos that these trees just lose all their needles because of drought season, the dry season, so they can survive. They just go into a hibernation because remember, all this water is naturally supposed to dry up, so all the alligators have to go away and kind of concentrate into the swamps for the dry season. And I said in a few videos, maybe it's just a leftover trait from evolution when there used to be winter here, like the last ice age. But I guess that's not exactly true. Could be both. I went by an area today where they were already bald. Everything, the whole area. Like these other trees here, I don't think are gonna lose their leaves, but I went through an area today where the whole road looked like the middle of winter up north. Yeah, still a lot of water in there. What's this one say? That one's hard to read too. This would be cute, or this would be really beautiful when it's flowering. All right, and we're back to the parking lot now on the handicap route. So let's get back in the truck, let this big light cool down for a little bit. No, I can't see a thing. Wait a second, this thing gets dimmer. All right, let's go. Won't be that far. It's not too far of a drive from here. Yeah, my eyes got to adjust again for a moment. That flashlight is brighter than these lights, even on that lower setting, it seems. So I notice the same alligators just stay in their own little areas, I guess, until it dries up. The same exact alligators are always in the same spots. There's one at the entrance of the park at this giant box culvert. It's always there. Sometimes he walks through the pipe and will be on the other side, but he's always there. Massive one. Even on the wilderness trail, the one alligator that wasn't afraid of me was still there the next day walking by. Yeah, I guess most alligators out here, I guess average is like 6 or 8 feet. You don't always see smaller ones. They're mostly big. I saw one that was like 6 inches, tiny little one. But if you see a little alligator, you gotta be careful, because the mother protects them for 2 years. He'll come after you like a bear, maybe. That's interesting because most reptiles don't protect their young, but the alligators do. Interesting walk. not going to go on any of the trails here that are dirt, and only because I don't want to put the big high boots on, because I still got a few blisters after walking 20 miles in them. They're not bad blisters, I just don't want them to become worse. I should be healed up soon though. And I wear the big boots if I'm walking on those trails in case I don't see a snake and it snaps. That'll probably stop the bite, because those big high boots are thick. They're cut resistant fabric, so I'm hoping that would stop something like that. Definitely better than nothing. So we're gonna go on another one that's paved, which is a good thing, because that would bring creatures out wanting to warm up. And I don't think there'll be anyone at it, but I do think this next trail we're going to is more likely than any other trail to have people hiking it at night. Just because it's so popular in the day, so I'm assuming. But all it takes is an hour after sundown. This park is dead. It's a weekend and it's no one here. That's why I'm waiting for a weekday to go camping. This time around in Florida, there's not many turtles in the road. I've only had to move 2 turtles out of the road. I think last time I was like a dozen of them, and they were mostly the soft shells. Maybe that was mating season the last time I was in Florida, which was March. Maybe that's their mating season, because I didn't see any flat shell turtles this time around. But Florida in November, December is awesome. The weather's cool, but it still gets some humid, hot days. I still saw 86 degrees with a lot of humidity last week. 90% humidity. I've never even had something like that up north. We don't get humidity usually above 65. They had 90 at night. Felt like a sauna out here. You may have noticed like a minute ago I passed another trailhead on the left. That is a boardwalk. It goes through a cypress forest, but it's only maybe 100 feet long. It's not a big trail or anything. And I've never seen anything in there. So I'm just skipping over that one. But this next one is a good 20-minute walk, at least. Longer than those other ones combined. exactly the speed limit right now. Kind of surprised the park doesn't have a slower speed limit at night. There's a lot of areas around here, it'll say daytime 60 miles an hour, nighttime 45. And the reason they have that is because they don't want you hitting the panthers, which are very endangered. They're worried about you hitting them. Like there's signs everywhere for the panthers because they are heavily protected. You'll see panther signs all over southern Florida. Signs with flashing lights. Some people think that they're everywhere because there's so many signs when I made a video of that last time, but it's because there's so few and they don't want you hitting them, so they put signs everywhere that it could be there. Another pull-out with a sign you can read over there. They got a lot of those pull-outs. Roads in Florida are the easiest roads ever to see at night because they put all these raised reflectors everywhere. Can you see that? You can see it a little better if I shut my beam off. But those won't work up north because the snow plow would rip them all off. It's like a rumble strip if I go over and run over those reflectors because they're raised up like an inch. So they're very, very visible. This might be where we're turning off. If not, it's the next one. This might be a campground. I can't read it yet. I think this is the campground because we haven't gone by a campground yet. What's it say? What's coming up? Nope, it's not the campground. I've never had any interest in campgrounds where it's just 100 people in tents camping next to each other. That's just sleeping in a tent. That's not camping. That's not even in the woods. At least in my opinion, that's not camping. Just like if you're camping in an RV, you're sleeping in a house, in my opinion. They're cool. Sometime that would be nice to get an RV, but I don't consider that camping. Could be someone just pulling over, but I can't see why they're pulled over. They shut the hazards off. I think they're just pulled over. But maybe they saw something that they pulled right on the side of, I don't know. Gators don't tend to be near the road at night because the sun's away. But the snakes, they like to be on the edge of the road, apparently. I'm not sure, though. I haven't seen anything yet. Lots of splats in the road, though, where something got hit and the birds cleaned it up. The crows are very smart. They're interesting to see because they see you coming, they walk over to the edge and look in the rear view, and they're just walking right back out to eat it so calmly. For some reason, this road seems longer at night. Maybe it's because I'm filming it. I definitely didn't miss it. It's got a massive sign. Maybe it's right here because it just said 45 mile an hour zone. So I'm assuming that's because of an intersection. I think it is. There's a median right there. Yeah, here we are. Finally, our turn off. So right now we're on the main park road is what it's called. Or it also has a route number. I don't know what it is, but it's also called Ingram Highway. And there's a panther sign. So the Ingram Highway there was originally built in the 1940s, but there's an old Ingram Highway, which both of our camping trips took place on, a flooded section and a non-flooded section. The non-flooded section is in decent shape. The concrete is still visible, even though it hasn't been used since the 40s, and it was installed in the 20s. Who knows? They may have allowed people to drive that decades after it was taken out of service. It's possible, because there's still a couple little sections you're allowed to drive, and I don't see why you can't drive any further. It's still in pretty good shape. They're even still maintaining and replacing the culverts along it as a hiking trail. But that Ingram camping trail, which is 10 miles in, 10 miles out, or there's another campsite halfway in that I bypassed because I thought might as well just go to the end if we're out here looking for alligators. That is this next road coming up to the right. You go down there and that's where that starts. But down there's a sign saying that you need a permit to even go down that road. And I think that's because it's a very overgrown hike, and if someone just doesn't come back because of an alligator or a venomous snake, I think they want to know about it. It's probably the main reason they want you to get permits and stuff to go on those trails. Because I don't think it's the maintenance of the trail necessarily, because that was heavily overgrown certain areas. I had to plow through bushes. I had no idea what was in there. The actual campsite, I didn't use it. I camped like a couple hundred feet down the road from it because very overgrown and wasp everywhere. But down the road I found a nice spot. Because this whole area, if you look at satellite images, this is Everglades that they allowed to return. They ripped out levees, re-flooded it, alligators came back, all the nature came back. But still, from satellite maps, you can tell it was a farm. There's a bunch of roads, square fields, piles everywhere where there used to be orchards. You can still make out the farms. There is one vehicle over there, but it'll be very empty. Boom. Boom. Looks to be very empty. I just see one car there. Another speed bump. Boom. Boom. And I'm assuming they locked all the bathrooms. I don't think you can go in the bathrooms or anything. You're just like a sitting area. That's the information building. Over here's the bathrooms. I'm assuming it's all locked, but who knows? The light's on in one of them. Maybe someone's in there. Maybe it's motion activated. I don't know. There's one vehicle here, so someone might be in the bathroom. But we're gonna park. There's one vehicle, and that person's clearly in the vehicle, I'm assuming. Or just recently got out of the bathroom. I don't know. Maybe they forgot to shut that one off, but we're gonna park right here. Just in case my big light dies, I also want to bring my headlamp, because this is going to be a bit of a hike. Alrighty, my headlights will shut off in a minute. Just got to make sure the off-road lights are off, because that will kill the battery in 20 minutes or something. So yeah, I am curious. Are the bathrooms locked? Amazingly, no. So yeah, they're probably motion activated. That was surprising. I did notice Florida's very clean, and for the areas that are city, they seem a lot cleaner than most cities. Look at that. Look at that big fish. I know this pond here has a lot of invasive fish. I'm not sure which are invasive, but I know there's a lot of them. The water is so crystal clear everywhere you go in the Everglades. It's so nice. Okay, let's try to see some gators. Yeah, lots of invasives right there. Look at that. Pleco fish, very invasive. They eat all the food of the native fish. And why are they here? 2 reasons. People let them go because they get too big for the aquariums. Oh my gosh, there's so many plecos. That one's massive. Yeah, people let them go. They get too big. And during hurricanes, everything floods. They get out of aquariums. That's the reason why there's Burmese pythons all over the place. That's why the Everglades... Oh, there's another one. Another big pleco. That's why the Everglades don't have things like raccoons really anymore. A lot of their small mammals are gone because of snakes. Yeah, these are invasive fish, the ones that make these big nests, I was told at one point. I see a lot of catfish, which I know are supposed to be there. Look at that. Lily pads are moving. Why? Something big is under there. I was here earlier. This place is very popular. There was a lot of people here, but I walked this trail earlier, and honestly, yeah, look over there. Look right there. Look, the lily pads are moving. It's probably a gator. Something there is moving around. But yeah, but when there's a lot of people here, and this isn't even tourist season, there's like a cluster of like 30 people, so you can't even get to see the gator. In my opinion, if you want to see gators, just drive around on the main roads. They're everywhere during the day. The ones on the main road aren't afraid of people. They're used to people pulling up and taking their pictures. But this is interesting to come out here at night and have a look at all this stuff. It says allow an hour to go around this boardwalk. I don't think we need an hour to walk it. I think I did it earlier in 20 minutes, but I wasn't really stopping like this and observing. I'm hoping to see at least one gator. So where everyone was looking at it earlier was by a little bridge that we're about to go over. Yeah, there's a insane amount of gigantic placos. The fish are nice to see. A lot of them. Plenty of alligator food here. I haven't seen any like placos that are extremely massive. Like I saw one in a pet store once that was like 3 feet. It was huge. Bridge is up there. Be there in a minute. Today's a good night. Just a slight breeze. Not too bad yet. You see all the flattened down trails. These trees are so cool. Here's the bridge. Lots of people here. We're looking at a gator right down here in the water under the bridge. Okay. So, unwelcome guest. Exotic fish. So, native fish. Yep, native fish right there. Bass we talked about earlier. Mosquito fish, and we see a lot of those Florida gars. Kind of looks like the pike we have up north. And here's the invasive ones. Yeah, that one right down there, the blue talipa, that is the one that makes the big nests, the big fish. And yeah, I've definitely seen Oscars in the water. Not today, but I've seen them in the Big Cypress National Park. No, not Big Cypress National Preserve. And there he is. See, they never go far from where they are in the day, it seems. That's the one everyone was staring at. It's a pretty big one, maybe 8 feet. And there's some unwelcome guests down there. Yeah, so this alligator was over here earlier, over on this side. And we saw him. That's what I wanted to see. And there's a trail where the alligators sometimes come up here onto the road at night. Now that we don't have good access to see the water, we'll just walk down here until we can see it. There's a bunch of observation decks once we get down here. And this is a massive circle up here. Here's a sign. There's the water gauge. Can't read what it's at. They gotta do a little trimming. Same with a few of the observation decks. You'll see there's one up here. You can't see anything. There was a lot of people here looking at something earlier. I think there was probably a gator here earlier. Maybe in that flat spot. I didn't bother going to see what it was. We have a friend right here in the road. Look at that. Another really big toad. That's a big one. Cricket. There's the toad's food. This is nice. Florida's winters feel like our summers. I feel like I hear something other than the wind. The sound of something in the water. Oh, another massive toad. You see it? Here we go. Wow. Oh my gosh, that one's even bigger than the others. Wow, 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 wow. That toad is huge. Look at it compared to the deck board. I don't think I've ever seen one that big. Look at it. Wow. Wow, here we go. Well, it's not giving me a problem touching it. I'm just don't want it to pee all over me right now. At least the bathroom's open if it did pee on me. Wow. That is huge. That is a big, big toad. I've never seen one that big. Wow. Okay, I'll leave it alone so it doesn't jump in the water, where it might be hard to find its way back up here. I don't know what kind of toad that is. The first one looks like the ones we have up north, but this one looked a bit different. Now here's a little view of some alligator trails, but you see what I mean? You can't really see anything with all the grass, but you can tell that it was intended to look, there's like a whole pond back here, but can't see it right now. Needs a little bit of trimming. Maybe we'll see more toads. Probably not actually, because the rest of it's on the rest of the trail's boardwalk. There's no more land like this. Bye bye, big toad. That thing is huge. Okay. Now this is the spot. The water's crystal clear, just shining a light around in here. see alligators. What's that noise? Oh, it's the boardwalk. Maybe it's not the boardwalk. It sounds like it's coming from somewhere else. Or me walking on it is making the boardwalk somehow creak way down the line. Water here is pretty deep. That grass is amazingly tall. It's like 12, 14 foot grass. Not too many creatures out, but the toads are really cool. Anybody over here? I'm just seeing a lot of fish. Time to switch hands. Earlier today there was some sort of bird. It was colorful like a parrot, but it was able to walk on the lily pads. Just walk around collecting bugs. There's always birds on top of that camera there too. Wonder if that's one of those Earth cameras. Oh, there's a Pleco. Because I know there's some Earth cameras in national parks. People can just look through them on the computer. I know that my grandparents years ago used to tell me to go to that Earth Cam website sometimes because they'd be at like a certain, I think there's a jetty in Florida that has a Earth camera, and they tell me to look at it because they'd be there. I don't know, is that what that is? I feel like it's in a different position than it was earlier. Like, it can be controlled from somewhere. That's one giant camera. Usually the ones with the big housing like that have a heater in it, a fan, defogger, all kinds of stuff. Some of them even have a windshield wiper. That one does not. Cool. Got a little leak in the roof there. Now here's something cool to look at. I'm gonna try to show some of this up close. Non-poisonous brown water snake, often mistaken for the Florida cottonmouth. Yeah, that is probably what we saw in the beginning of the video, both of those snakes. There's the cottonmouth. Yeah, it's got a totally different shaped head. Could that be a pig frog? I don't know. Could that be a pig frog we just saw? Because that toad looked a little different. That might be what we saw. I think that's that colorful bird I described earlier, but the one I saw was more greenish looking. There's alligators everywhere, so The rehabilitation really helped out. They were almost extinct alligators in the 1960s. I wonder if that was a pig frog. I'm surprised they don't mention a toad. If not, maybe that was a pig frog. I'm not from Florida, so I don't know. That thing was huge. Ooh, I see a lot of creatures down here. You see a lot more fish if you just choose a spot and just carefully look around. Looking around fast, you miss all kinds of things. I think the big flashlight is slowly dying because it's not putting off as much heat as before, and I think that's a sign that it's going. But I've never actually killed this flashlight. I've got the power down where it wouldn't go into the high setting. Like, let's put the high setting on. This is wide open. Wow, it's very bright. But it might not be as bright as it could be with the lower battery. But this newer flashlight is awesome because the cooling fan is quiet. The other older model is, people describe it as walking around with a hairdryer. It's what it sounds like in videos. So I will still use it. I still like that flashlight, but I actually kind of like holding it better. It feels better in the hand, just the way it is, because this one's kind of thick. Someone threw a water bottle in there. I see the fins down there of another giant Placo. I'm surprised that sign earlier, that didn't mention Placo, did it? Okay. I don't think we're gonna see too much in this tall grass area. We're still going around on the big loop, like where that other toad was. Now we're gonna go down here, which is a dead end, but it's another observation deck over the lily pads. You may have seen it from across the way. So I've been out here now 20 minutes, and if I wasn't pausing everywhere, we would have been out of here in 20 minutes. But when you actually take the time to look around, I think that's what that sign at the beginning is factoring in. If you're actually looking around for creatures, you're probably going to spend an hour here. Oh, this railing is very wobbly. Like, look at the way it wobbles. See how it wobbles against that beam? That beam is so the pole right there is flexing that. It looks like a 2x10. Like it needs some extra blocking underneath, like between the beams. Would probably fix that. I'm just thinking when there's crowds of people all leaning against it. The stars out here are also very nice. If you shut the lights off, you can see a whole bunch of stars. This bench was made possible through the generous donation more of the same thing. I don't think we'll see a gator out here, but I'm gonna check anyways. They're well camouflaged, but there's enough space in the clear water. I'm pretty sure I'd see its body attached to the eyes looking up at me. Let's turn it up one more time. Yeah. See, there's a little bit of moisture in the air. That's what you're seeing around there. Alright, let's walk back to the vehicle, and I'll probably end the video once we walk back. I'm not going to do any more walks out here tonight, just because I don't want to be up super late and mess up my sleep schedule too much. And it's probably not as late as you think. I don't think I mentioned what time it is. It's only 9 o'clock. All it takes is like an hour after sundown. There's so many nice spiders in that railing. Only an hour after sundown, this place is dead. No one's around. I find it a lot more relaxing out here at night. Temperature's perfect. No jacket required. Nice little breeze. You would never see all these toads and stuff if it was the daytime. Here's a little spot with water. Not even a fish. There could be an alligator anywhere. Underneath us probably. Because underneath us there's no sunlight for the grass and it's just pure water. Okay, I can already see the visitor center. That bathroom light is still on. That's what's over there in the distance. More benches. That one doesn't have a plaque. So I guess if someone gives a good donation, they just would put a plaque on that one. Okay. I hear fish jumping. I also hear a loud truck coming. Probably hearing the main road over there. Maybe one of these nights we'll get the waders on and go down one of the overgrown trails at night. Still want to see a rattlesnake at some point, but from a distance. I've never seen one in my life. There's definitely more gators than that one. They're just hiding, I guess. Yeah, they must be hiding. We're about to see that giant one again. I'm sure it didn't move. More crickets. I guess they're a tropical type of cricket. These all look like the crickets I buy at the pet store up north. The wild crickets that we have up north are huge and black. These ones are white with little stripes on them, and they're like half the size. Lots of carpenter ants out tonight also. Okay, we're about to see the gator friend again. I'm sure it's still there. No, it's gone. Maybe it's on. I bet it's on the other side of the bridge. It's gone. I don't see it down there. It's probably over here. Where'd it go? Where'd that big guy go? Maybe under the bridge. Or far out in here. Huh. Underneath here? I don't think he's under here, because that's a 8-foot gator, and he'd have to perfectly position itself there. But down here, that guy vanished. I don't think that light's letting me. Yeah, battery's too low. It won't let me put it into that high setting. Okay, let's try again. Now, that's moonlight setting. I can't see anything. Boom. Boom. How high will it allow? Yeah, it's not letting us go up nearly that high. 9,000, 18,000. Yeah. With this battery level, it's only going to let us go to 18,000 lumens when this is a flashlight capable of 200,000. So it's good. The flashlight won't strand you. It just gets dimmer and dimmer until it's done. Let's look at the gator's trail. Is the gator trying to come up here? It could be anywhere. It's okay. At least we saw it. It's still very bright, the flashlight. So we'd see it out there if its head was up to the top. At this angle, we were unable to shine underwater, so I don't think we'll be able to see its body necessarily. No. Now I can see in there a bit. Can I stand on this? I can see right to the bottom in most spots. Let's see a giant rock out there too that things might bask on in the daytime. Okay. Heading back. I think someone just forgot to shut that light off. I don't think it's motion sensor. Bet you there's a switch in there. In the national parks, the bathrooms never cease to amaze you, usually, at how disgusting they are. Like this bathroom over there in the daytime was really nasty. The visitor centers are nice, they keep those clean, but this is a normal working water bathroom, and people are pigs that go in there. When I went in there earlier, there was every single toilet was unflushed, and the whole area just really stunk. I remember at certain national parks, they'll have the outhouses filled to the brim where you can't even use them. I saw one YouTube video where there's some national parks just talking about how expensive it is to empty those things out in the rural areas. Oh, fish jumping. I don't think we'll see any more gators tonight. Not right here. And over here, there's a whole bunch of wilderness trails I've never done before. Maybe we'll come back and do this trail tomorrow or something. Look at that, that's a very smooth looking tree. Let's read about this trail. I've never done it before. Oh, is the whole thing paved? Because that might bring snakes out. Hurricane destroyed the whole place. Whole canopy was squished to the ground. Looks so dead. So we are here. Oh, it's not that long of a trail. It's really not. Not that long of a trail. And it looks paved. Maybe they'll see some snakes on it. Not a super long trail. I got a headlamp. Let's go through it. How long ago was that? Oh, I do need the headlamp now. Thankfully these headlamps last a long time, but they're not that bright. We'll do it another day, I guess. Though I do really want to try to see some snakes. But we don't got a lot of light. I think it's good enough. Yeah, we need that other setting. Yeah, I guess we'll walk it. It's scarier without the big light. This trail feels a lot more humid, and the canopy looks pretty good actually. I see all the dead trees, which were in the pictures. So, how old's that sign? How long ago was Hurricane Andrew? I don't know. Look at this giant cockroach. I saw a ton of those things when I was out camping. They get like an inch or two. That one's like inch and a half. It's confused, I think, by my light. It's a big roach. But it's good food for the toads and stuff. I don't think my headlamp will die when we're out here. Oh, another one. Oh, another cockroach. They're everywhere. Suddenly, when we got down this trail, it feels very, very humid. I'm not sure why. I don't see any of the dead trees. I see debris on the ground from the dead trees. everything looks like it's growing back. Everything I see is green. Those cockroaches are scary. Not them themselves, but the noises they're making, ruffling through the leaves. Look at the roots on this palm tree. That's cool. I've never seen the roots like that. Why do I see sawdust everywhere? It must have just cleaned up after a storm. So this flashlight takes 2 hours to supercharge, but I can only supercharge if I have a wall outlet. So charging in the car, I'm unsure from it being completely empty. How long will it actually take for us to recharge it? I don't think I can charge it tonight. It'll maybe get a partial charge, but tomorrow driving around maybe it'll fill up. This thing's got a huge battery compared to a phone. Just hoping to see a snake on the pavement. Okay. With a small flashlight, this trail's a lot more scary. There's not a lot of water around, so we're going pretty quickly. Just quickly looking at the edges of the trail. Maybe we can find a snake. Cockroach. Another cockroach. You're everywhere. Another one. I've always thought that paved trails through the woods are unnatural, but it's good for like this because it retains a little bit of heat, so snakes might be more likely to come out and see you. But also, in a place like this where there's a lot of tourists walking it, it's good to have it paved so that the trail doesn't become worn out. This looks like pavement used to go through here. Or maybe there was a little lookout. And we still got the phone flashlight. If we did kill another light, but these headlamps go a while. So the big light lasted a couple hours. Did okay. Okay, here's the big oak tree, I guess, that was on the map. More cockroaches. Can't see it too well without the proper flashlights, but is this it? That doesn't mention the tree. Yeah, here it is. Massive oak tree. More cockroaches too. Okay, so if I remember correctly, that was towards the end of the circle. So now I think we're going to be kind of heading back. And this loop goes back into the parking lot. Okay. The strangler fig. We saw this on a much better sign at another trailhead. These signs appear to be very old. I keep pausing very quickly for these cockroaches, because you don't know what exactly is ruffling through the leaves. Is it the roach? Is it a snake that could potentially bite you? I don't know. Out here probably, you see what I mean when I'm hiking. I like to have the tall boots on for snakes. Not what I got on now. There's a couple more roaches. At least the rattlesnakes, I guess, supposedly will give you a warning, but they're also likely to get out of there too. But the cottonmouth is a little more dangerous because it stands its ground, it won't move. And if it's like right there on the side and you don't notice it and you pass by it too close, it could strike you. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I'm scanning the edges as I walk. And there's a lot of water around here, so could see them pretty easily. Look at the erosion right here. You can tell water's been crossing this a lot during storms. Yeah, I can tell this trail's going back. I have a good sense of direction. Ooh. Cockroaches keep startling me with all the noises they're making. This sign is in perfect condition. It's either new or it's getting less exposure to whatever's damaging. Look at all the cockroaches. So these are called wood cockroaches. I looked them up a while back. So I don't think these are the type that infest houses. They just are in the woods everywhere. Good food source for the creatures. And I have wood cockroaches at my house too, up north. But they're not big. These ones are huge. Okay, what is this? Oh, what the heck? What the heck? Something just went in my shoe. Oh my gosh. Thankfully I didn't crush it. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Thankfully I didn't crush it. Look at that frog. It's so tiny. Look, compared to my shoe, look at that. Look how tiny that frog is. Look at that. It's smaller than my fingernail. And it jumped through the hole of my croc. Good thing I didn't crush it. I thought I was gonna find a bug. I felt something wet go in there. So I'm assuming this is part of the abandoned highway. It looks like a pretty long trail that you could do in the daytime. Thankfully, or unfortunately, we can't see down there. Let's see. Okay. Yep, a remnant of the concrete highway. The same thing that we've been doing. So look, People must have been getting stuck in the mud, so they had to build this concrete road. Okay. Yeah, pretty wide open. That creaking tree sounds kind of like a human voice. Poison ivy and poison wood. So I'm assuming this is poison wood because of the shiny leaves, but that's not a plant I've seen before. We don't have that up north. Do not approach the alligators. Looks like a good spot for them. Oh yeah, this pond goes way out there. Honestly, looking back there, that unfinished road back before 1920 looks like fun. The off-road picture they showed from 100 years ago. Okay, I'm seeing a light in the distance. Is that the bathroom? I think that's the bathroom again. We're almost back to the parking lot. Florida's official butterfly. Yeah, I see the bathroom through the woods. So this is about to hit the parking lot. We're just making another quick, brief loop. More poison wood. I hear something humming. It's like an electrical transformer somewhere out here with me. Right there. What? Yeah. Electrical transformers in the woods. Okay, we're back. There's another strangler fig sign. I wonder if I would be allergic to poison wood. I am not allergic to poison ivy or poison oak. Okay, we just did the whole thing, and okay, there's that pond I just said would probably have a lot of gators, and there's the old highway. Okay. That did not take 30 minutes, but I guess in the daytime, if you really wanted to focus, that was more like a, what, 15-minute walk at the most? Okay, time to get out of here. I think I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Oh wow, look at all the cockroaches in the bathroom. Oh, they're all going down the drain. There's so many in the drain. There's so many cockroaches down that pipe. Look, cockroach, right there, right there, right there. Ooh, the big flashlight's working again, randomly. Yeah, look at all the cockroaches. I guess they do come into buildings. Yeah, toilets are all still unflushed. Disgusting. But look, there's roaches all over the floor. There's a puddle of pee behind that toilet, or the toilet's leaking. Any more roaches? They like when it's dark. Yeah, look. They're scurrying and trying to hide. Let's look behind that trash can. Oh, there they are. Oh, there's one up on top of it too. More roaches. Ooh, a big spider. Look at that. Any more roaches? None over here. All right. Let's get out of here. We're gonna visit one big culvert pipe on the way out of here. The one that usually has another massive gator at it. So there was a I think those were two different type of cockroaches. The ones in the woods were more fatter and rounder. The ones in the bathroom were more skinny. The ones in the bathroom look more like the invasive house type. I don't know. They looked like different types in my opinion. They look very different to me. I've been hearing a weird noise on the truck, and what I'm thinking is, I wonder if there's like a little piece of gravel or something stuck where the flywheel is. I hear like a little whining noise behind the engine when it's idling. I feel like there could be like a rock stuck in there somehow that it's rattling around. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see snakes or anything on the road. Maybe it's too warm of a night. Maybe if it was a cold night. Today's not really a cold night for the Everglades. It's still 68 degrees at 9:30. And I slept in the woods out here one night. It got down to 52, and it was slightly chilly, but that, I think, a night like that is more when the snakes would want to come out to the road, maybe. Or those record cold days in the Everglades when it gets into the 40s at night. They don't ever get frost down here, but it can get into the lower 40s, rarely. I know northern Florida rarely can get snow and slate freezes. I even saw, ooh, what is that? What did I just see? I'm not even gonna turn around because I know it's gone. I know it's gone into the bushes. I don't know what that was. It looked a little too big to be a raccoon. Maybe a fox, I don't know. I did not get a good look at whatever that was. I did not. But yeah, northern Florida every now and then can get slight snow. I saw once on YouTube a video of what do alligators do when the surface of the pond gets a freak layer of ice. And it looked like the gators just kind of put themselves into like a, not hibernation, but they slow their heart rate way down and they just leave their snout above the water and let it freeze around them. I saw that in a video. I think that was northern Florida. Could have been Georgia or something, I'm not sure, but they had a couple cold days a few years ago. Freak cold days that aren't typical. I think that's the reason why northern Florida is considered subtropical. It's not actually tropical, even though you got palm trees and stuff, because it can freeze every now and then. Alright, we're back out to the main road. About to get out of here. In just a couple minutes, we'll be going through the main entrance to get out of here. This park only has one entrance. It's not like other national parks that have a whole bunch of them. It's because of the location. It's not easy to build roads here, and it's also at the end of a peninsula of Florida. There's not really a reason to have another road in. The Everglades is really close to like hotels and stuff. I haven't stopped at any hotels down here, but I did stop at a really cheap hotel a couple nights ago. $120 for 2 nights. That was very cheap, and it was very clean. It was very nice for that price. Surprisingly nice. I've had really horrible rooms for $100, but I don't rent things that are like $200-300. I don't see a point in that at all, and that's why I sleep in the car. That's cheapest. I only get hotels if I'm extremely dirty or it's going to be a miserable night to sleep. If it's high humidity, high heat at night, that's why I wouldn't come down here in the summer. It wouldn't be feasible to sleep in the vehicle at night. But I was saying that this is very rural area, is very close to things like Miami-Dade. That's the Walmart I've been sleeping at night, a couple nights. It's only 20 minutes from the park entrance. And it's always, sometimes Walmart, it's common sense if they allow you to sleep. They'll have a separate parking lot. City Walmarts with ordinances that prevent that usually don't have a separate parking lot. That's a big giveaway. If you see truck drivers and campers there, it's another dead giveaway that you are able to be there. But then there's some places you can't be. Not supposed to be. The security guards will kick you out. You can always be sneaky sometimes too, especially sleeping in a vehicle like this. I'm not a camper or anything. They wouldn't even suspect someone's in there except for the out-of-state plates. This place is supposedly 24 hours. I don't see a vehicle. I don't see the main gate lit up at all. But yeah, there is a green light. Wonder how that works going in there at night. Maybe it's some kind of self-serve system at night. Because it does say no cash. It says credit cards when you go in there, and there's usually a ranger that does it. Maybe at night you'd have to just swipe your credit card yourself. What's this light? Is this a car? Or is it a sign? What is this? What it is. They're lighting up the back of their white car. I wonder what they're looking at. Confused me for a minute. I couldn't see exactly what was there. I think that culvert is right here because I know it's just outside. It's in the park, but it's outside the toll. Yeah, right here. This massive culvert right here. Usually got a gator at it. We don't have our big flashlight at the moment, so here's what I'm going to do. There's no traffic, really. I'm just going to use the truck to look in there. Use the off-road light. That water got very, very low since we were out here a week ago. There was some deep water there. I was even mentioning how the grass was all pushed over because it looked like there was a blast. Now the water the gator was sitting in is almost gone. So other side, the gator sometimes over here. Just taking a quick look. I don't see it. The water's just about gone from a few days ago. The gator probably left off hunting. There's a car down there coming, so gotta stop doing that. Someone's gonna think I'm a drunk doing like a 7-point turn to do a complete turnaround, like to go in the same direction. And right here is the sign for the park that everyone stops and takes pictures of. Right here, I'll show it. I'll spin around and light it up once this car goes by. Okay. Here's the main sign at the beginning of the park. Okay, we're done for tonight out here. And out here there's a bunch of like wildlife refuges and stuff that we're driving through right now before we get to farmland. And this all used to be farmland. It's just stuff that was brought back to nature. A bunch of canals right here too that divert water to the farmers. I can turn these lights back on because we're not near houses quite yet. Just farmland. I think there's a prison up here too. the Google map will tell me to turn off before the prison, typically. So I'm gonna have to turn the map on in a minute. I don't know my way around now that we're outside the park. I think I'll end the video here. I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.